Have you ever wondered why you keep attracting relationships that don't nourish you? Why that cycle seems to repeat itself over and over, as if you're trapped in an emotional maze with no exit? Stop for a moment, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, when was the last time you looked in the mirror and asked if you're living the love you truly deserve? Not the one others told you that you should have, not the one that seems right to everyone else, but the love that truly resonates with your soul. Carl Jung, one of the most revolutionary thinkers in modern psychology, left us with a truth that few dare to face. You cannot attract healthy, conscious love until you first choose yourself. This simple yet profound teaching has the power to completely transform your love life if you have the courage to put it into practice. In today's world, with its constant distractions, rigid expectations, and frantic pace, we've become accustomed to looking for love outside ourselves. We search in apps, in bars, through friends of friends, but rarely do we look in the only place where true love really originates, within ourselves. Jung spoke to us about the unconscious, that mysterious part of our psyche that operates beneath the surface of our consciousness. It's there where the patterns that determine who we attract, how we love, and most importantly, how we allow ourselves to be loved, are hidden. If we don't connect with that deep dimension of our being, we're doomed to repeat the same patterns over and over, no matter how many times we change partners. Have you noticed that although the faces change, the dynamics in your relationships tend to be the same? Perhaps you always end up with people who aren't emotionally available, or maybe you attract those who need to be saved or fixed. These patterns aren't coincidences. They're manifestations of your unconscious working on autopilot. Jung called it projection. It's that mechanism by which we place unrecognized aspects of ourselves onto others. When we haven't done the internal work of knowing and accepting ourselves, we project onto our partners both what we love and what we reject about ourselves. And so, paradoxically, our relationships become mirrors reflecting our inner selves. Think about your last relationship. What aspects of that person constantly bothered you? What qualities did you deeply admire? It's likely that, if you dig deep enough, you'll discover that what irritated you the most was precisely something you haven't wanted to see in yourself. And what you admired most, a quality you yearned to develop. To break this cycle, Jung invites us to a process he called individuation. It's the path toward wholeness, toward integrating all parts of ourselves, even those we prefer to keep in the shadow. Because, as he well understood, only when we fully accept ourselves can we love and be loved authentically. The shadow. That fascinating concept Jung developed to refer to everything we repress, deny, or ignore about ourselves. Everything we consider unacceptable and therefore hide not only from others, but also from our own consciousness. But here's the paradox. The more we deny our shadow, the more power it has over us and our relationships. Have you noticed how some people seem to trigger your most intense, almost irrational reactions? How certain behaviors in your partner can unleash disproportionate anger or pain in you? Those exaggerated reactions are clues. They're moments when your shadow is being touched, moments when something deep inside you is asking to be seen and accepted. Integrating your shadow doesn't mean acting from it, but recognizing it as part of you. It means saying, yes, I also have that capacity to be selfish, to feel jealous, to need control. And in that recognition lies the seed of transformation, because what we accept loses its power over us. When you begin this journey of self-knowledge, something magical happens in your relationships. You no longer look to others for what you haven't been able to find in yourself. You no longer expect your partner to fill your voids or heal your wounds. Instead, you approach love from a place of fullness, not lack. This is a radical change. Most of us have been conditioned to believe that romantic love should complete us, that there exists a perfect half that will make everything right. Jung shows us that this idea is not only wrong, but potentially harmful. True love isn't born from need, but from the meeting of two complete people who choose to share their fullness. So, how do we start this process? How do we choose ourselves to attract healthy, conscious love? Begin by listening. That uncomfortable feeling you get when someone crosses your boundaries, that small voice telling you something isn't right in your relationship. Don't ignore it. Your body and your intuition are powerful compasses that, if you learn to listen to them, will guide you toward more authentic and satisfying relationships. Jung spoke about the importance of introspection, of taking time to be in solitude and connect with oneself. In a world that values hyperconnectivity, finding spaces of silence might seem like a luxury, but it's a vital necessity for anyone seeking conscious love. Because only in those moments of stillness can we hear the voice of our soul, the one that always knows what we truly need. Ask yourself, what kind of relationship do I want to create? Don't answer with generalities like a happy relationship or a loving partner. Go deeper. What values are non-negotiable for you? What type of communication do you need to feel safe and seen? How do you want to feel when you're with that person? This clarity will not only help you recognize healthy love when it appears, but will also begin to align your energy with that type of relationship. Jung believed in synchronicity, in that meaningful connection between events that apparently aren't causally related. When we internally align with what we truly desire, the universe seems to conspire to bring it into our lives. But be careful. This isn't a magical or instant process. It's not enough to make a vision board or repeat positive affirmations. True transformation requires deep work, facing uncomfortable aspects of yourself, healing old wounds, and above all, being willing to change patterns that, although familiar, no longer serve you. One of the most powerful tools Jung gave us for this work is dream analysis. Our dreams are direct messages from the unconscious, windows to those parts of ourselves that have been repressed or ignored. If you pay attention to your dreams, especially recurring or particularly intense ones, you can discover valuable clues about your relationship patterns and what you need to heal. How often do you dream of being chased, of being late for something important, of being in familiar places that suddenly become strange? These common themes in dreams can contain specific messages for you, especially regarding your capacity to give and receive authentic love. Another vital Jungian concept for attracting conscious love is that of the anima and animus. Jung proposed that every man carries within himself a feminine aspect, anima, and every woman a masculine aspect, animus. These archetypes profoundly influence how we relate to the opposite sex, and we often project these inner figures onto our partners. When we haven't developed a healthy relationship with our anima or animus, we tend to idealize or demonize our partners, expecting them to perfectly embody that aspect of ourselves. But when we recognize and nurture that complementary energy within us, our relationships become more balanced and authentic. For women, developing a healthy animus means cultivating qualities traditionally associated with the masculine: assertiveness, logical thinking, direct action. For men, nurturing the anima involves honoring typically feminine aspects: receptivity, intuition, emotional connection. This inner balance not only makes us more complete as individuals, but also allows us to relate from complementarity instead of dependency. As you advance on this path of self-knowledge and conscious choice, you'll notice subtle but profound changes in your life. People who once irresistibly attracted you no longer provoke the same reaction. Situations you used to tolerate now seem unacceptable. It's as if your eyes have opened to a new reality, one in which your value isn't in question and your needs matter. This is the sign that you're beginning to choose yourself. And when this happens, the type of love you attract inevitably changes. It's no longer love based on need, fear, or old unconscious patterns. It's love born from mutual recognition, respect, and freedom. Conscious love isn't perfect, but it is authentic. It's not free from challenges, but these challenges become opportunities to grow together instead of reasons to separate. In this type of relationship, both parties are committed not only to the well-being of the couple, but also to their own individual development. Jung believed that the ultimate purpose of a relationship isn't the fusion of two people into one, but the creation of a safe space where each can become more fully who they are. Conscious love invites you to be more yourself, not less. It challenges you to grow but doesn't require you to change your essence. But perhaps you wonder, why is it so difficult to find this type of love? Why, despite our best efforts, do we keep repeating the same patterns? The answer lies in what Jung called the complex. A complex is a group of thoughts, feelings, memories, and desires, partly or totally unconscious, that cluster around a common theme and have an emotional tone. We all have complexes, and they aren't inherently negative, but when we aren't aware of them, they can direct our behavior and our choices without us realizing it. Complexes related to love usually form in childhood, in our relationship with our primary caregivers. If you grew up in a home where love was conditioned on your behavior, it's likely that now, as an adult, you continue seeking validation through sacrifice or people-pleasing. If you experienced abandonment, you might be constantly alert to signs of rejection in your current relationships, overreacting to the slightest hint of distance. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to freeing yourself from them. And this is where self-compassion plays a crucial role. We're not talking about justifying harmful behaviors or resigning yourself to being this way. True self-compassion involves recognizing your humanity, your wounds, and your efforts to heal without judgment but with a firm commitment to growth. Jung taught us that the most direct way to transform our external life is to work on our internal life. When we change our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with others inevitably changes. And this is the secret to attracting healthy, conscious love, becoming the type of person who can give and receive that love. This process requires courage. The courage to look within, to face uncomfortable truths, to let go of relationships that no longer serve you, even if they feel familiar. It requires patience, because deep transformation doesn't happen overnight. And it requires compassion, both toward yourself and others, recognizing that we're all on our own learning journey. But the results are worth every effort. Imagine waking up each day next to someone who sees you, really sees you, with all your gifts and shadows, and loves you not despite who you are, but precisely because of who you are. Imagine a relationship where there's no need to pretend, to please, or to sacrifice your essence. Imagine the relief of being able to simply be you, knowing that's enough. This isn't an unattainable fantasy. It's a real possibility, available to you right now, if you're willing to do the work of choosing yourself first. So ask yourself, are you ready to let go of what no longer serves you? Are you willing to question your limiting beliefs about love and about yourself? Are you prepared to embark on this journey to the center of your being? The path won't always be easy. There will be moments of doubt, fear, even despair. Moments when the temptation to return to old patterns will be strong. It's in those moments when you'll most need to remember why you began this journey. You're not doing it just to find a partner, although that can be a beautiful outcome. You're doing it because you deserve to live an authentic, full life, in which your relationships are a reflection of your true self, not of your wounds or fears. As Jung himself said, the meeting with oneself is one of the most unpleasant meetings, but it is necessary for health. And I would add, it's also the most liberating meeting, the one that opens the door to relationships you never thought possible. As you continue this journey of self-knowledge, you'll begin to notice subtle but profound changes in your life. The way you talk to yourself will become kinder, your boundaries will be clearer, your intuition sharper, and naturally, you'll begin to attract people who reflect this new state of consciousness. Don't be surprised if some current relationships begin to transform or even dissolve. It's a natural part of the process. Some people in your life will be willing to grow with you, while others will feel threatened by your new way of being. Trust that what is meant to remain will remain, and what must go will go. Synchronicity, that fascinating concept that Jung developed, begins to manifest in surprising ways when you're aligned with your true self. Suddenly, meaningful coincidences abound. You meet people who seem to be exactly on the same frequency as you. Opportunities appear that seem specifically designed for your growth. It's not magic, although sometimes it may seem like it. It's simply the result of living in coherence with your essence. When you stop fighting against your nature and start flowing with it, the universe responds. Remember that this is a journey, not a destination. There is no point where you can say, "That's it, I've completely chosen myself, I'm perfect now." Individuation is an ongoing process, a dance between conscious and unconscious that lasts a lifetime. The beautiful thing is that you don't need to be perfect to attract healthy, conscious love. You just need to be committed to your own growth, to your truth, to your well-being. And from that commitment, from that continuous choice of yourself, an energy will emanate that naturally attracts relationships that nourish your soul. Jung taught us that the unconscious is always trying to balance what is unbalanced in our consciousness. If you've been living from sacrifice, your unconscious will push you towards self-care. If you've been disconnected from your emotions, it will guide you toward greater sensitivity. If you've been too focused on others, it will remind you of the importance of attending to your own needs. Listen to those messages. They're there for a reason, guiding you toward the love you truly deserve. And as you advance on this path, be gentle with yourself. Self-discovery isn't a straight line. It's a spiral that sometimes seems to take you back to the same point, although in reality, you're at a deeper level. Celebrate every insight, every small advance, every moment of courage, because in the end, the greatest act of love you can make is to choose yourself. Not from selfishness, but from the recognition of your inherent worth. And when you do that, when you truly commit to your well-being and your authenticity, you're laying the foundation for a love that not only lasts, but makes you grow. A love that challenges you to be more yourself every day. This is the type of love that Jung envisioned as the human ideal. Not a relationship of dependency and projection, but one of mutual recognition and support on the path of individuation. A love that honors both connection and autonomy, both union and the necessary separation for individual growth. So today, in this moment, make a commitment to yourself. Promise that, no matter what happens, you will choose yourself, that you will listen to that inner voice that has always known what you need, that you will respect your boundaries and honor your deepest desires, that you won't settle for less than what you deserve in your relationships. And from that commitment, from that conscious choice, you will begin to magnetize toward you a love that reflects that same quality of consciousness and authenticity. A love that doesn't complete you, because you're already complete, but amplifies your light. A love that doesn't save you, because you don't need to be saved, but celebrates your strength and vulnerability equally. This is the love that Jung invites us to discover. Not outside, but inside. Not in the other, but in ourselves first, so we can then share it. A love that arises from wholeness, not from lack. A conscious love, rooted in truth, acceptance, and the freedom to be exactly who we are. If this message has resonated with you, if you felt that spark of recognition in your heart, don't ignore it. It's your deeper self telling you that you're ready for this journey. You're ready to choose yourself, to heal, to transform your relationships from the inside out. And remember, you're not alone on this path. There's a whole community of seekers, of brave souls who are also awakening to this truth. Connect with them, share your experiences, learn from theirs. Together, we can create a new way of relating, one that honors both our individuality and our deep interconnection. I invite you to tell me in the comments which part of this message resonated most with you. What insight are you taking away today? What change are you inspired to make in your life and relationships? And if you know someone who could benefit from this message, please share it. Sometimes, the right words at the right time can be the catalyst for profound transformation. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on notifications to receive alerts when I upload new videos like this one. We're building a community of people committed to personal growth and conscious relationships together, and your presence here is valuable. Thank you for dedicating this time to yourself, to your growth, to your capacity to love and be loved authentically. Remember, the journey toward healthy, conscious love begins with you, with that brave and transformative decision to choose yourself first. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll continue exploring the depths of the human psyche and the art of living a full, conscious, and authentic life. Until then, take care, love yourself authentically, and trust in the process of your own evolution. Because as long as you keep choosing yourself, you'll be on the right path toward the love you truly deserve.